It was really good as we got going early in practice. I thought we started just a little bit slow, but you know, I didn't have to say a lot. I think they felt it and they picked it up, and it ended up being a really crisp, productive practice. You know, once again, I thought Brett looked really good. I thought Powasi continues to make strides at that right tackle position. We had Malcolm out there doing a little bit. You know, got to get him going. You know, it's certainly going to be a couple of days before he's really up to speed. But I thought it was a really good practice for us. And you know, it's a long day for these guys. We started with meetings this morning at 7, but that's okay. You know, I like the fact that we practice at different times of the day. You got to be ready to play at different times of the day. So that's just part of the learning process. So it was a good, productive day for us.
In his limited work, what was your impressions of Malcolm?
I didn't watch him a lot. I watched him a couple steps. It looked to me like he was struggling a little bit, like you'd think. You know, he hadn't played for a while. He wasn't in our winter program, so he's going to be a little bit behind. But the thing about Malcolm is he's very mature. He's very smart. He wants it really bad. He works hard. He's got a great attitude. And I think, you know, some of the freshmen, what you'll see is they'll start to fall off a little bit. They'll get tired. You know, they'll get worn down a little bit. I think what you'll see with Malcolm is Malcolm will start to ascend every practice just because he's getting his rhythm back. So I'm really happy he's here. He gives us another big body, he gives us that experienced offensive lineman that we need. And you know what, he's acted a little bit as a mentor to some of those guys as well in his own quiet way. So I appreciate that he's here.
Is the initial plan for him at left guard?
Yeah, he's going to be a guard for us. Yeah, and that was always the plan. I'm sorry, it was always the plan. You know, I think that when you look at the position type, the body types, and you look at the position parameters, what we're looking for in players, Powasi's a tackle. That's all he is. He's a tackle, and he's going to be a really, really good tackle. You know, you look at Malcolm, and he's got a tackle body type, but he's got, you know, guard girth, and he can bend a little bit. You know, you look at Najee and Scotty Quisenberry and Brendel and Hulick, you know, and Alex Redmond, and those guys are more inside guys. You know, you look at the way Caleb's playing with his length, and he's an outside guy. So you're kind of looking for body types. You're looking for bend, you know, in the waist and the knees, even in the ankles. And so I think we're set up pretty well. I like the way we look on the offensive line. I've been impressed with those guys so far.
Have you noticed Eldridge at all this first week and a half?
Yeah, primarily when we get down in tight in the red zone. He's a big body for Brett to throw to. As a matter of fact, 2 days ago, Brett threw a ball out like on this. We were on this field on the sideline to his left, and he looked covered. You know, Eldridge looked covered, and Brett just threw it over the DB's head, and Eldridge went up and caught it. He came back and said, "That's a nice big target for me," because I just throw it up there, and he goes and gets it. And then you saw it in the red zone some. You know, he uses his body well. He just got enough little push off in there to create a little separation, and every day he's going to get better and better. You know. If you think about Eldridge, last spring he was limited. He was fairly limited during the fall. And then during the season, he was always on scout team. You know, so he was never running our plays with our quarterbacks. He was always, you know, playing the role of our opponent's receivers. So I think you're just going to see him get better and better, and he works at it. Did you see him take on Miles in the first?
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was great. I mean, it kind of shows you the mindset of Eldridge. This morning's meeting, we said, hey, we're going to do our Pride Alley deal, you know, our Oklahoma drill. And I said, who wants to go first? And Eldridge. I said, all right, call it out. Who do you want? He says, I want Miles. You know, I told him before practice, I'm going to get life flight over here. I'm ready. But he did well. I like his attitude. He's tough. He's aggressive. He likes to compete.
Seemed like
Zach was that outside linebacker a little bit today.
Yeah, we moved him around a little. You know, we're going to do some experimenting there and try to find the right person to play opposite Miles. And Zach got length. You know, he's got really long arms. He can separate. It's just, you know, there's competition there. You know, I don't want anyone to assume that anyone's got the job, you know. And so I think between Kenny and Dion and Zach and whomever else shows up, I mean, there's going to be strong competition out there. But we want to get the 4 best players on the field, and part of that is moving guys around a little bit.
How far behind, just because he hasn't been here, is Zach from maybe Kenny and Dion and that sort of battle?
Well, from a mental standpoint, he is. He doesn't know the ins and outs of the defense as well. And then I think from a physical standpoint, the first 3 days, the first day he was good. The second 2 days, he fell off a little bit. Today he came back stronger. You know, I think he's the type of kid that the more work he gets, the further along we go into spring, he's going to start to get stronger. I don't think he's going to be the typical freshman that falls off. I mean, this is a determined kid. I mean, you guys have seen him. I mean, he just, he is bound and determined to win that job and be an impact player. I love that about him.
Is there a recovery timeline for Ben Wazaki?
I don't know that yet. I don't know it, but thankfully it wasn't broken. It was, they call it a moderate medial sprain. I got part of it right. I'm missing a word in there somewhere. But Ben, I don't know if he'll be back this spring, but at least it wasn't broken. So. Okay?